Hey guys, be sure to check out our daily free play at our main website, stumpthespread.com, linked down in the video description, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get all of our college football pick videos throughout the campaign. In today's video, we're going to be talking about three teams that we think have solid betting odds in terms of their chances at winning the college football championship this year. One of them is one of the more favored squads, and then two of them are a little bit lower on this list. If one of these two of the teams that are lower on the list come through, we're going to be seeing some significant payouts potentially by the end of the campaign. But at the start of this video, I'm going to be listing the three teams that we think have solid betting odds and then going into a little bit more in depth on why I think these are teams that potentially have those chances to win the national championship and are a little bit undervalued potentially at the odds that they're currently given. But starting here with Ohio State, they're at 15 to 1 right now. Texas at 36 to 1, and then a little bit lower than that, Wisconsin at 50 to 1. If we can get two of these teams into the Final Four, that all of a sudden turns more of a lottery tick proposition into a coin flip, which would be great, but these teams are going to have to live up to expectations or even surpass those expectations to potentially get into that Final Four, especially with teams like Texas and Wisconsin. Obviously, Wisconsin and Ohio State both in the same conference. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see both of them play in the Big Ten title game. And whoever wins the Big Ten title game is likely to get into that Final Four. And then Texas, they're playing in the Big 12, which is a little bit watered down, which means that they might need to go undefeated to get into that Final Four. But even with one loss, they would have a pretty decent shot to get into that Final Four situation. Texas has been out of the picture for a while, but they have a perfect storm brewing to potentially have a very strong bounce-back campaign after a number of years of being down. But what all these teams have in common are solid head coaching, experience at the quarterback position in some sense, and also very strong in the trenches, both on the offensive line and defensive lines or the defensive front sevens. Those are going to be very important characteristics in teams that have success throughout the regular season and then going into postseason play. Ohio State, they were a massive disappointment getting into the playoff last year and then getting blown out. That can't sit well with this group. Ohio State was ahead of schedule last year. They had a lot of young guys that they were playing, but they were still able to get into that Final Four situation. Urban Meyer wasn't happy at all with how his squad played in the college football playoff, and that's really ignited and fueled this team in the offseason. But like I said, they have one of the best offensive lines in the nation, as well as a very strong defensive front. And with getting all those young guys experience last year, that's just going to pay dividends for Ohio State this year. But right now, this squad is at 15 to 1, so we'll type that into this odds calculator here to see what our payout will be. And at a $100 bet, if Ohio State does win the national championship, you'd win $750 or a payout of $850 in total. But the Buckeyes have tremendous experience at the quarterback position with JT Barrett. This is a guy that earlier on in his career was kind of forced into the spotlight, really stepped up. He's been a little bit up and down since then throughout his career at Ohio State, but this is seeming like a great situation for him. And with Ohio State bringing in a new offensive coordinator, the old Indiana head coach, there's a lot of excitement around this offensive unit to get back to even better what they've been showing, particularly last year. Ohio State's looking to play at a faster pace, really spread things out a bit more, and that can potentially play into JT Barrett's favor. I'm really excited to see what this Ohio State offense is going to bring to the table, and I expect them to be quite a bit more explosive than they were last season, which is only going to help their chances at getting into that college playoff, winning in impressive fashion. So that's our first team on the list. Moving on down here, the next squad is going to be Texas. Now, obviously, this is a program that's been down for a number of years now, but they've recruited very well in recent years thanks to Charlie Strong, even though Strong wasn't able to get the most out of his teams, and he's now moved on to a different job. Texas brings in Tom Herman, who's actually, he used to be at Ohio State, and then he's been at Houston the last couple of years with a tremendous amount of success with that program. And now he's coming into Texas at what looks like the perfect time. Texas has some experience at the quarterback position with Shane Beachel, and they also have a tremendous offensive line and just a lot of experience on both sides of the ball, which is going to be important for them to really make that step up in the Big 12 this year. But I'll type in their odds into our calculator here at 36 to 1. At a $100 bet, if Texas won the national championship, you'd win $3,600 with a payout of $3,700. That's really good money there if they would happen to come through. Right now in the Big 12, some of their top competition are going to be teams like Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, even a team like West Virginia. But the Big 12, all of their top teams have flaws and are certainly teams that Texas can take advantage of potentially with their very strong offensive line and experienced and strong defensive front. But Texas, they have great skill position players on the offensive side of the ball. Tom Herman, it seems like whatever he's been touching lately has turned to gold, and really building up a reputation for himself in the state of Texas with what he was able to do at Houston. To be fair, Tom Herman did get a great team that he inherited there at Houston, and now he's going to get potentially a similar situation here at Texas with inheriting a team that has a lot of talent, and if he's just able to shape this talent in the right way, the Texas Longhorns are going to be a team to watch out for in the Big 12 this season. And then the last team that I want to talk about is going to be the Wisconsin Badgers. The Badgers last year were just incredibly undervalued coming into the year, and Wisconsin not going to be quite as overlooked coming into this campaign, but still at 50-1 odds, not getting a whole lot of respect. But we'll type those odds here into the calculator. At 50-1 with a $100 bet, you would win $5,000 if the Badgers won the title and $5,100 as the total payout. Wisconsin has solid head coaching with head coach Chris. They have a returning player at quarterback in Alex Hornibrook who's can make the throws and really showed us at times some strong play. Wisconsin, the big improvement for them last year came in their running game from the year prior, and good Wisconsin teams have strong offensive lines with good run games, and then they play off of that through the pass game. But it looks like the run game is going to be strong again this year behind a great offensive line, and Alex Hornibrook through the pass game can certainly help open things up for the run game as well. And then also defensively, Wisconsin loses some of their some talent there, but they also return quite a bit, and they'll be able to fill in any holes that are left by some of those guys. Certainly a defensive unit that's going to be one of the top in the nation, and really Wisconsin's key to winning the much weaker Big Ten West. It would be an absolute shocker if Wisconsin wasn't able to win the Big Ten West and get into the Big Ten title game. And if they're able to get into the Big Ten title game, that just means that they're likely 3 wins away from winning the national championship. And at 50-1 odds, just needing to win 3 games in a row, that's going to be a pretty good situation for the Badgers potentially. Their path to the Big Ten title game is obviously a bit easier coming out of the Big Ten West than Ohio State's going to have in the Big Ten East, even though we value Ohio State quite a bit more than Wisconsin, obviously with their odds at 15-2. We see both of these teams likely meeting in that Big Ten title game, with one of them likely making it into the Final Four, and with just one of these teams in the Final Four, that's going to be a pretty good situation for us to potentially get one of those teams that wins the national championship. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Those are the 3 teams right now that I feel like are potentially undervalued slightly, and especially Wisconsin and Texas in particular. Ohio State at 15-2, not going to get a huge payout if they win the championship, but they're also very likely to make it into that Final Four. So those are just the 3 teams right now that we're feeling early on in the campaign. This is still early in August. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it. So if you guys want to get our daily free play, again, check out our main website, stumpthespread.com, linked down in the video description. Over there, you can get our free plays throughout the college football campaign, and also all of our top confidence premium bets. We're coming off one of our better college football campaigns, which we had back in 2016, where we gained nearly a positive 100 units on the regular season and through the postseason. So you can check out those plays over there as well. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get all of our college football video pick plays throughout the entire campaign. So thanks, guys, for stopping on in for today's video, and we hope to see you in the future. Bye.